Hey, everybody, it's Friday, March 7th, 2025. Welcome to the Bombcast. This week, that's right, we're talking about wrestling because a lot of wrestling has happened. I am your host. I'm entering number 6, I guess, into the Elimination Chamber. Jan Ochoa joining me. He's in the first pod. He's writing funny little jokes and dad jokes on the walls. Jeff Grubb.
I'm going to do a weird, way too long slice across my throat, Jan. You know what that means.
That's right. He feels it. He's slapping his forearm. He feels the mana. It's Dan Reichert.
The light keeps falling down in my cell. My pod, sorry.
They are our leading expert on all things involved in pods, in cells, and also the mitochondria. Niki Grayson.
What was my fucking joke, Jam? Come on, bud. Come on, dude. I was gonna really go. I had a tight 6. A lot of people say it's a tight 5, but no, I've innovated. I had a tight 5 on the power of the mitochondria, but now it's nothing.
Dozen, right?
It's like a baker's dozen of comedy, but now it's nothing, Jan, because you said the magic word, mitochondria.
Well, what is the mitochondria?
It's the powerhouse of the cell, Jan.
That's right, and we got our own powerhouse, powerhouse, or fuddy duddy. Mike,
oh shit,
Minotti.
Hello, I'm here with Shadow the Hedgehog, and he's got 2 words for you. It's that blue hedgehog again.
That's a lot of words.
It's that blue hedgehog again.
Yeah, but Shadow just kind of says it is too. You get it.
Is that also a Shadow the Hedgehog from Germany?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
we both have those. Okay,
yeah, we both have our Shadow the Hedgehog from the Sega booth at Gamescom.
Yeah, the one
Mike,
I brought back.
Why is it specifically with the Shadow the Hedgehog doll that you have kept doing since Germany? That
it
suck
does
it motion
look funny with Shadow.
It does.
He's a bad boy.
It seems
He's a
like
bad boy?
he would be in DX if he was a wrestler in 1997. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, Sonic doesn't have a dick, so it just doesn't make sense.
True.
But neither does Shadow.
Yeah,
They're both
Shadow
units.
definitely doesn't have
I've seen
a
some
dick.
art on the internet.
Okay.
Well, I'm not allowed to say the rest because HR's already contacted me. So please
Don't
go
whack
on.
off that Shadow.
Sean, I'm going to need that.
On Mondays about?
Uh-huh. Apparently, I'm not doing enough. The kids love it. They want more of it on the website.
They want more.
I was going to say a very obscure joke that, maybe Mike would understand about Okay. Dan, that's what Wendy keeps saying to Peter Pan.
Wendy
Never mind.
says the
Never
Peter
mind.
Pan. What part
Oh,
are we
wait, something about Shadow?
It's a
Shadow.
shadow because
the Shadow.
The Shadow it moves around, does its own thing.
Hey, hey, Jan, you want to try that one again now that we all understand it?
no, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
all right. A lot of stuff has happened in the world of wrestling. First, the Elimination Chamber has popped off, and let me tell y'all, I enjoyed both chambers this year.
Both chambers, the whole show, pretty much. You know.
Yeah. So we had the Women's Elimination Chamber opening up the show, and then that was followed up by, gosh, what was the second match on the card?
Tiffy Trishy time against Candice LeRae and
Nia
Jax.
Yeah.
And then an unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and then we ended the night with the Men's Elimination Chamber. Would we like to start at the top of the card?
Real quick, I just want to say breaking news. Lex Luger is going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice. Hey.
Yes.
Congrats to Lex Luger.
Yeah. No, it's a very deserving. Yeah.
I remember Dan took me to the Mall of America. We were at the spot where like Lex Luger appeared from the crowd. He's like, "This is where it happened, Mike." And I was like, "This is sacred ground."
Lex Luger in a Seinfeld shirt stood right here in front of the Great Train Store.
What I noticed from the Elimination Chamber, also before it popped off, Jade Cargill made her return off camera, and then beat the shit out of Naomi.
Really good.
With some good, I don't know if you saw the reaction shots of Bianca from inside the cell.
Great.
She was killing it.
Naomi appeared at a movie premiere a couple days later, and she was wearing this bedazzled neck brace.
Yes.
I was like, wow, it's fucking real. The business is
very
real.
Good. Yeah.
I love this shit.
Yes.
Jade, here's my thing about Jade. Hottest person on the planet, obviously. We all know that. We all understand that.
Yeah.
She likes
But then
Jane's
I'm
hair.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Touch Jan's hair.
Well,
And now,
second hottest person on the planet, of course.
no, for sure. That's the transfer of power.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, are they gonna
She gonna
do
beat
anything
Mia?
fun with her now?
Yeah.
Or do I have to? What do I just get to look at her on TV? Not a complaint.
I
But are they
mean,
gonna do like what's the freaking deal?
well, I mean, I think the obvious first step here is there's stuff between her and Naomi.
Yes.
But then with Bianca, she'll be in a title match at Mania. So are we
Right.
just getting a one-on-one with Jade and Naomi, with Jade being a heel? Like, was Naomi, or I mean, like, is either
Well-
Jade's the heel and she's wrong about Naomi attacking, or Naomi's the heel and she attacked her? So one of those two, but it feels like it's got to be a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
And with Bianca's, we'll get tied in at some point here, but obviously she's got title stuff going on for Mania.
Yeah, it feels like it doesn't have a very long runway. So I'm kind of confused as to what the play is post this Naomi beef. But I guess it's a good beef to give her to come back. So yeah, excited for my wife.
God, Jade Cargill though, right? Wow.
Dude.
Fantastic human being.
Ridiculous.
The spot where she slams the sliding glass door
Dude.
into Naomi,
That felt
absolutely brutal.
it's all real to me.
My biggest standout from the women's elimination chamber, Dan, you alluded to it already. Bianca Belair ultimately victorious. The final two was Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. Liv Morgan, I think, was the MVP of that match.
Dude.
She, in the last, I'd say, let's say 2 years, has just gone from, she was always like, she was learning quickly and stuff. And, she was progressing in NXT and, she was an okay talent for a while. And
Yeah.
something happened. I think it was, this Rhea feud and the stuff with Dom and Judgment Day. She has just found her character. She's gotten so much better in the ring. She is a fascinating character. They've trusted her to run with so many different storylines in the last year or so. Liv is like one of the best improvement stories I've seen in a while.
Yeah, to see the stats coming out, she's been in every women's Royal Rumble, every women's Elimination Chamber. Such a steady hand. I was actually legitimately disappointed that she wound up losing because I thought, okay, let's just run it back one more time, Rhea and Liv, just for the title. But ultimately, that's even changed.
And Rhea's gonna hold up her end of the deal, and it's all gonna go great.
Yeah.
that means she hasn't had any long periods of injury, right? Like that. Maybe that's one of the reasons they like her.
She did get hurt once or so, but it wasn't like a super long one. Like Rhea gets her way
not like a year
more
and a
often.
half, right? Where she had to miss something.
Nothing
So
like that.
the best ability a lot of times is availability. So I think they probably just like that she is there and then can carry things because clearly she has improved. Even like you said, 2 years, Dan. Even since last year, it's just been oh my God. Every time she's on the screen, I am engaged.
And in the chamber, just bumping her ass off when they were doing the thing where she's
Yeah.
getting slammed back and forth into the cage in the pod and the Bianca whip and all that stuff. Just bumped
Did
her
you
ass
see?
off.
She did a picture the next
Yeah.
day, just showing off all the welts and everything. It's oh, that looks like it hurts.
Yep. No, she's awesome.
Also, we had a strong showing from Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez continues to be pushed to the fucking moon. She had the longest time, set the record for longest time in the women's Rumble. I was surprised to see her here. I want to ask y'all, how do we feel about Alexa Bliss? She's still kind of rocking a Fiend adjacent gimmick.
She's a nice person.
Okay.
I don't mind Alexa Bliss.
I worked closely with her for about a year. She was always Lexi Coffin is a very pleasant person to work with.
Okay.
I mostly am I'm over the gimmick, I think, but I think
Sure.
the gimmick is the whole character in a way that they feel impossible to separate. So kind of whenever she's on the television, I'm all right, okay, I guess it feels the most 2010 shit in the whole world to me in a way that is not complimentary.
Yeah, I guess when she returned, I was surprised that the gimmick had not changed. It's wow, they had an opportunity to reintroduce her there. Why didn't they take it? But yeah,
I mean, the doll sells, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I believe it.
No, I believe it.
I'm mostly with Mike. I don't mind her either. I'm not ever thinking she's ruining anything, but she's also just not. She's clearly not top.
Yeah, it's time
talent.
for some kind of evolution there or
Yeah.
something.
I feel like even near the end of her, before she left for a while, she was having like the spooky, scary movie matches with Bianca and stuff, and the magic power stuff. Even post the weird pandemic shit with the doll, and now it's going to wind up being involved with the Wyatt Six in some way, which I think. It's kind of what everybody would have feared with the Wyatt Six thing. It's like, whoa, crazy debut, main event of Raw, and they murdered everyone. And it's like, okay, where do we go from here with the murderer group?
Right.
And it's like, okay, well,
You can't just keep having them murder people. We need them to wrestle every week.
Well, I guess we
I
gotta
mean,
put
I don't
down
know. They
jail.
could try it again. I think it would be pretty sick if they did it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
like
need,
the same
we need
people.
a Mountain Dew pitch black match more now than ever before.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Any standout moments that y'all want to mention or talk about from the women's elimination chamber before we move on?
Just how good is Bianca all the time?
Yeah,
Oh,
just Bianca.
Yeah.
Bianca using her hair to whip Liv
Banana
so
bread.
hard, it sounded like a
Yeah.
gun.
Yes. And that wasn't, it's not a super kick slap your leg situation.
No,
That's
no.
the fucking braid extension
That's
hitting
her.
skin.
That's
Yes.
hair. That's nuts. Like the fucking the team that made Indiana Jones in the Fantastic Circle would have been amped.
She was the
if they
Foley
had
artist
that.
for it.
Yes.
Machine Games
Would've
that bring
been
Bianca Belair in.
amped to have that in there. But yeah, I Bianca just is a freaking star. So excited for her.
She is so effortless where it's like, everything she does looks incredible already. And then the fact that she has this fucking 6-foot braid that she's doing 450 splashes and
Yeah.
springboard, moonsault, fucking flips off the ropes and stuff. And she always just has the wherewithal to just perfectly grab it. It never gets in her way. Just supernatural talent.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a body artistry that she just makes it look so effortless, which makes it so you can't take your eyes off of it. It is just mesmerizing to watch.
She's got that 450 splash, and there's a story where it's like, that's to have a nice crisp 450 splash is not the easiest move to do. Obviously, plenty of wrestlers can do it. But like when Bianca got brought in from outside wrestling, was not a huge wrestling person or anything. She was in the performance center and saw someone do like a 450, and she's like, "Oh, okay, what's that?" And somebody's like, "Oh, that's a 450 splash." We'll definitely have to like work up to that. It's like we haven't done any top rope stuff or anything yet. She just went up there and just did a perfect 450 splash her
That's
first time
crazy.
trying, like a very green. It's like, oh, I can do that. Just insane.
Mike, could you do a 450 splash right now?
No. Well, like, what am I splashing into? And still no.
Dole Whip.
Well, like, if it was like into like one of those like foam ball pits or something, maybe, as opposed to like in a ring.
But it's at a
still.
TwitchCon, so
Yeah, so
No,
it's
no.
over cement.
It's about
Yeah.
6 inches of foam.
I couldn't even
Terrible.
I couldn't do a cartwheel when I was 4 and all the other kids were doing cartwheels. I'm not very good at turning my body upside down.
I've never been able to cartwheel, but I can do a front flip and a back flip off a diving board. But no,
I could do the
That's
like
cool.
Chris Farley cartwheel, like when I was like, if I get like a
cool.
little drunk, if I get like 2 beers in, I could do
We're
it.
gonna do jumping jacks and cartwheels.
Now, Nikki, you've now
Yeah.
seen Chris Farley and you've seen him do a cartwheel, right? Right?
Yeah.
What?
The
Thank you for
Letterman
just saying
entrance?
it.
Yeah, no, I have
All
seen it.
right.
I've seen it. Yeah, no,
All
I'm
right.
cultured
Zero
now.
Chris Farley
I'm
knowledge, and
cultured.
now I've seen him do a cartwheel.
There you go.
I'm cultured.
There you go.
Have they done? You know how in Wii Sports Resort
Yes.
there's the sword fighting and it's
Yeah.
on the circle over the water?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ani Chambara or whatever.
Have
yeah.
they done any wrestling matches where the ring is suspended, no ropes over a pool?
Have you heard of the
Um,
anime Kaijo?
What?
No.
It's
What did
the
I come back
butt-fighting
to?
anime.
Kaijo is an anime about a fictional women's sport where they're on a floating platform over water
Doesn't have
and they
to
have
be fictional.
get to like knock each other out, but they're only allowed to use their chest and butt.
What's it called?
Keijo. Keijo.
He brings this up almost as much as he brings up Coles.
It's the only good anime.
In my
when I was
mind,
there-
good anime.
during the beginning of the pandemic, before they did the Thunderdome, while I was working there was like an all-staff email that was like, okay, we need to come up with like weird places to do shows and matches and places to put the ring. And like they put out like a few like front runners, and one of them was like on a boat, and another one was under a bridge on a river. So there was a world in which that was discussed at one point.
Fuck.
Incredible.
We got to bring the pandemic back.
Maybe not. Sorry, I had to drop chili off to my mom.
Oh no.
Do we talk about the Tiffy Trishy time match yet?
No, look,
That was
I'm not gonna be mad
that was
about
a nothing burger to me.
Yeah, never gonna get mad at Trish Stratus being back, but you know, it was the one kind of come down match on the show. 4 matches.
All right. Following that, then we had the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens match. They dimmed the lights down. It wasn't a pitch black Mountain Dew match,
Dude, but it looked really fucking good.
Yeah. And no court in the land could convict them if they just killed each other.
Yeah,
there.
it's true.
Right, well, because they didn't sanction it. Like,
Exactly.
they broadcasted it and sold tickets to
Yeah,
it.
but hey, our hands are clean here, you know?
It's not sanctioned by the WWE, like, sanctioning committee.
That's
And
Connecticut
they
law,
also
brother.
announced it and said who won and sent out referees and security guards.
And aired
but
it
they
on
were not
Peacock.
involved. No involvement.
But if they didn't sanction it, so does that win and loss is on the record?
Yeah.
God, wrestling's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's really good.
Yeah, it rules.
I want to have an unsanctioned podcast that is just the normal podcast.
A lights out
it's the
podcast.
It's the Kaijo watch along. It's unsanctioned.
Heard that they did not file down the barbed wire at talent request.
That's funny.
Now, why?
Those are a couple
Sickos.
They
wrestlers.
deserve to be able to boo the national anthem of the United States. Come on.
Pat McAfee was not happy.
Dude,
about
he was
that.
really? Pat McAfee couldn't handle something.
But what did
Surprised.
What did he think?
He doesn't.
He doesn't know. He doesn't. He doesn't
That's true.
perceive any actual grievances that Canada might have. He's like,
Yeah.
"US good. Why?"
He tries to have thoughts, and it's adorable. It's all
hard.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to have thoughts. I can commiserate with him on that at least. All right, moving on to the main. Well, maybe it's the main event. There was a different thing that happened afterwards.
You
that-
knew as soon as that chamber, the men's chamber started, and we hadn't gotten to Dwayne time yet, that something funky was up.
Oh yeah. So the Elimination Chamber happens. Spoiling it, John Cena ultimately wins the whole dang thing. Sorry, we can't see him.
Eh.
I thought this was a very strong showing from all parties involved, minus Logan Paul. I do like how CM Punk has now perfected a way to counter what was Hangman Adam Page's finisher into, and how Logan Paul stole that. And then he just added a fine, very satisfying slap that I don't think he needed for Logan Paul, but I needed it.
I was honestly surprised that Logan didn't. I guess it was his first one back in a minute, but I was surprised he didn't do anything cooler. Part of the thing that oh no, go ahead.
I was just saying, isn't the story recently, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, I was only half paying attention, that they aren't doing the thing that they were doing with him for a while, where they like make sure he gets a lot of training for exactly what the match is going to be before the match, and they've slowed down on that a little bit.
I mean, that was definitely when he was just having like one match every few months. It was like him and Shawn Michaels going over everything for a month, which that's kind of a leg up. But I mean, you know, not to take away his athleticism, but that's not every wrestler gets one-on-one time with Shawn Michaels like that.
No, for sure. Yeah, I was kind of expecting him to like do something. I fucking hate the guy, but his spots when he does get a good spot, they're always fucking crazy. I think about that Ricochet across the ring thing all the time.
That SummerSlam springboard moonsault thing in Cleveland,
Dude,
like that was
fucking sick. So I was kind of expecting something like that, and the biggest thing he did was he did a splash off the top of the pod, and I was like,
and it wasn't even one of his better frog splashes either.
And I was like, okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Where do we go forward with Drew?
Well, he's going to him and Priest.
Him and Priest?
Yeah. That's a mid card. You know, that's a match 3 night 1 type of feud, I believe. You know, both talented dudes.
And I think he can make that something that I care about. I think he's still in that spot where I like, he's going to do a couple funny things on social media. I'll be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, let's get into this, and that's fine.
Yeah, he was, so heavily featured all through last year, and he over-delivered on everything he was in. Yeah. So I just think it's, not everyone can be at the top all the time, and he's just kind of stepping back a little bit on the card, and he'll be back at the top.
Have y'all felt this way watching Punk wrestle lately, that you're just like gingerly watching him, hoping he doesn't get hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you want, because like, they really haven't made good on all these people hate CM Punk. They're all waiting in line for a chance to beat him up, and then like he gets hurt 5 minutes into all those matches. So yeah, you want him to just like be able to last through all of those, so we can at least get some juice out of this.
Well, we'll get to it with after Elimination Chamber, but that Raw promo was like, oh right, Punk, okay, yeah, that's
Yep.
he's a
Yeah,
he's
you
a good
got the
talker.
juice.
Yeah.
It does. Watching him wrestle, there was only one sequence where it felt like he was going full speed, and it was that like extended sequence that he had with Cena towards the end of the match, where I was like, oh, that's what CM Punk is good at wrestling. But then the rest of the time that you watch him go, it feels like he's going at like 70% speed. It feels like he's walking through stuff. Which is like fine, because he's got ring
probably the right
presence
call,
and aura.
yeah.
But like I'd also, yes, to your point, Grubb, like it does feel like he is very intentionally trying not to get himself hurt again, because I don't think he can get hurt again.
But he can
It was
still do
great
the
to-
thing that I think a lot. Sorry, Mike. The thing that a lot of talent would kill to do, whereas like without doing any flashy or dangerous moves or anything like that, just by going in there and doing the, like, I missed you too stuff with Cena, or the handshake,
Yes.
the hug, that stuff. Like you get those, the moments that's, people will remember more than like, oh, somebody did a fucking thing, poison Rana off the top of the cell or whatever,
Right.
know?
And, I think a lot of people, and myself were included, were kind of a little sad we didn't have that big Cena Punk moment in the Royal Rumble, right? Now it's like, oh, they were waiting to do it here. And, somebody who was really paying attention a lot in that, 2011 Summer of Punk 2 thing, and that feeling like this really big, fresh thing happening when WB was at a bit of a creative low point. Right, that match with Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank that year was incredible. So seeing callbacks to that and that moment revisited, like that was definitely working for me.
I'm a real sucker for like whenever it's two guys that know each other so well and they're like doing counters to the counters. Like Cena goes down to do the "you can't see me" and then he goes for the kick and he's like, "Nope, seen you do that before, motherfucker!" And like grabs it into the SDF.
Right.
Yeah, that shit's great.
I love it.
I know that Cena has plenty of opponents to go through before the year ends and his retirement tour ends, but I just want a really big, long, good match with Punk. Those two have like
that screams SummerSlam main event to me.
Yeah, like those two have such good chemistry. The story is there for days, and we'll get to what the story may unfold to later. My one thing with John Cena, I love John. I need him to just shave his head.
I mean, that sounds like the heel.
Yeah, that sounds like heel.
That's clear. I think that's
Yeah.
when,
I think that's the point.
Has he showed back up anywhere since the turn?
No. They advertised him for 3 SmackDowns following WrestleMania, which some people are reading as, oh, he's going to win at WrestleMania and be the champ. But obviously we'll go deeper into the heel turn thing in a bit. But like, I hope when we see him next, bald would be good.
Bald.
But if you don't know the story of what they were going to do in 2012 with him turning heel, he has the gear made. He recorded his song. The whole thing was "Fear My Name" was going to be his. It was on his it was like a wrestling singlet. It said "Fear My Name." He actually pulled it out for a bit on a Total Divas or Bellas episode, and he was going to do like boxing robes. And he's talking in interviews about like he was going to change every single thing about who John Cena the character is. Like no Make-A-Wishes, no go all the way in and like make hard decisions about like I have to be the opposite of what made anyone like me in the past. And like, I want to see that "Fear My Name" version of Cena when he eventually shows up again.
I want him to have a mustache.
Yeah. There's a picture of him.
Bald and a mustache.
Have you seen the picture of him with the mustache and the goatee from his gym?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Do that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah. Let's see if I can, I'll link you if I can find
I need
it.
this.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up John Cena mustache.
Like we said, John Cena ultimately wins the Elimination Chamber by finally eliminating CM Punk, getting him a ticket straight to the main event of WrestleMania. Afterwards, the Elimination Chamber rises up, and then Cody Rhodes comes down to the ring. And then Cody Rhodes congratulates Cena only for The Rock's music. But then wait, not only The Rock, Travis Scott comes and does an entrance with a title that I don't know who gave it to him. I don't know if he bought it or made it himself or The Rock gave it to him.
Oh, no, it was that
Dangerous
hardcore one.
concert.
No, Triple H gave it to him for like a photo op.
Oh.
Like a few months ago, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Maybe he should ask for it back. And then Travis Scott And The Rock walked down to the ring to confront Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes.
Wait, sorry. I unfortunately do need to admit that the Fiend and The Rock mashup actually kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Like, it went sick. Oh, mode. It's lit.
Mike, explain that joke.
Oh, mode? What? I did not really comprehend. I was
No,
just
you nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. It's good.
I was just hoping
that's what we wanted.
Cena with the goatee. There's a
Zero
lot
notes,
happening
Mike.
to me right now.
No, you nailed it.
O mode is how I order all my slices of pie.
Oh, that's with ice cream.
Mitch toe mode. Yeah, that's what Mike does. Yeah.
Oh boy. Mike, you rock, never change.
Okay.
And then I forget the wording exactly, but Cody Rhodes, in response to The Rock asking for his soul and for Cody Rhodes to become his brother, his champion, to give him everything, Cody Rhodes says, "Fuck off, Rock."
He says,
he
soul
says-
hasn't belonged to me for a long time. Oh,
long as they knew where that was
belongs to
going,
the
right?
ring, the people. Hey, Rock,
that was
go
going.
fuck yourself. Yeah, that was awesome. I love that.
It was crazy hearing him just say fuck.
I
like
know.
that.
Yeah.
Like, when has there ever been in major North American wrestling television, has there ever been an intended scripted fuck said unbleeped, pay-per-view or otherwise?
It felt like no.
AEW must have
don't know if they've
had
done-
one.
I mean, they did. I was there when Christian did the "Go fuck yourself" to Edge, but that got beeped, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
On television, it got beeped, but this didn't get beeped. And I think that was the thing. At no point did it feel like he was building to say it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when he said it, I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard a person cuss in my whole life. Like,
Yeah.
it felt nuts. And it was like, well, that was the peak of this segment. The top of this segment was they just let their champion say fuck on television, and then we're all gonna go, damn, that
That's
was
it.
fucking crazy. Anyway,
Wow.
see y'all at Mania. And then no, there was still more stuff happened after that.
Yes. John Cena made a lovely face. I think the face we all said, it was like, "Oh, that's cool."
And
Also, Cena had like a cartoon character version of himself as he has like since his return, which I thought that's kind of cheesy, but oh well, Cena's having fun.
yeah, in retrospect, seeing him just like be almost self-parody worked even better.
Yes.
He's just like, oh man, yeah, all right. Like when he came in for the handshake and stuff, it's like, that's what you would expect Super Cena to do. You know, babyface
Yeah.
Cena. That's how he always acts, but he was like even turning that up.
And then Cody Rhodes and John Cena embrace. And then John Cena starts mean mugging the camera, and then he's looking at The Rock. And then The Rock, as Grubb is demonstrating, does the oddest.
He almost turned it into the Larry Zbyszko thing. Like,
Oh yeah, but then he
Good
like
day to
blew it
you.
away like a flower petal at the end. He went like this, and
yeah.
it's really weird.
Do you think that he thinks that all knives have two blades?
I don't. God,
Because it was
just
a
like,
two,
it's
it
got
was
to
a
be my thing.
two-finger
Oh,
situation.
No, that's how
which was
to
confusing.
The Rock doesn't want two blades. He just wants a really big blade.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad he did it weird. It makes it more
Yo,
memorable.
for sure.
of
It makes it way
course.
better.
It's memorable. Yeah.
I'm glad he did it weird, but I don't think he was capable of doing it normal either.
No, right. Oh, for
I
sure.
like that he's just getting really genuinely weird as he gets
Yeah.
older. Like, I
No.
want this to keep happening.
No, so the thing is, someone in chat alluded to it, that their wife was watching, and then she said, "Don't they realize how sexual this whole thing seems?"
yes.
They do.
Souls aren't sexual.
No. Like, Dan, when The Rock gave that weird promo at the Raw after Mania that we
Want
were
your
at.
soul. Yeah.
No, that we were at.
Oh, the one where he handed him the fake thing that I don't know if that's going to actually ever come up again. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, I like that belt. I want that belt." Yeah.
Yeah, you go, let me hold that belt. Yeah. I'll let you hold mine.
The crowd chanted, "This is awkward."
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really good.
This is awkward.
Like, I feel like The Rock just wants to, like, I don't know, have relations with Cody Rhodes or something.
It's really
really
sexual
good.
tension.
Well, did you hear the story
What?
that came out from Wrestling Observer and Sean Ross Sapp confirmed about the original plan?
No, what was
Were they
it?
gonna
So
have
he to turn
sex?
heel.
They were gonna fuck in the ring?
No, that was it was going to be the live sex celebration. Yeah. No. So Rock, apparently, his plan was he knew he was going to be at Mania, didn't want to do a match. but he wanted to have Cody turn heel, and Rock was going to be his second, be his manager. And Cody was like, no, I don't want to do that. Like there's still a lot of juice in this baby face run.
He literally told him to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, so it's like almost like what really happened. And then Rock, as the plan B, was like, can we turn Cena and I'll be in his corner?
That's pretty
what
good.
Meltzer and Zapp are saying. So yeah,
it's the right. I mean, yeah. So can we like fully talk about this now? Are we ready to like go? Yeah. Because like what are they like? Because okay, at the end of this, like there is like the moment where Cody turns John Cena back to a face, like the very last moment before he ends the run. Is that how this goes? I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me.
It is weird if he retires as a heel. The
money on the table of John Cena bad guy is not as much money on the table as John Cena good guy.
But it's awesome that they're doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll do it for a while, and then he's going to like give The Rock an attitude adjustment, and then
everyone's going to be like
Survivor Series. Yeah, it'll be like Survivor Series.
There
will be like the final good guy match, and Cena fights The Rock or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I see it ending. Or I don't know, the CM Punk turns heel on Cena, and then Cena turns face.
I think we're getting face Punk versus heel Cena. I think we're gonna have a run of 3 to 5 months of heel Cena champion. I think.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Either drop.
Sounds fucking sick.
And I think you do give it back to Cody probably because I don't know, that makes more sense than Cena Rock, 2 guys that'll be gone right after that match.
I mean, it does make sense because you do want like the story to me is like these 2 guys being the literal faces of WWE, like back to back, really in a lot of ways. There was no sort of stand-in for someone that was equal to them in terms of being able to like represent the company. And so like I think you solve this storyline by John Cena recognizing that someone else can actually do the job that he was doing, and so you complete it by they fight again. And I think in that fight, the way that Cody really wins is by turning John Cena back and then beating him fair and square.
Yeah,
and then you get that
I think
Hogan
that'd
Rock.
be cinema.
Yeah, you get that Hogan Rock thing where Hogan lifts the hand and the official passing the torch moment and Cena's last match.
Like by actually going through the fire together, but then officially passing the torch in the last.
Cena's
moment.
not going to actually like have a match with The Rock. There will be a segment and a bump is what.
He'll turn on him, maybe an attitude adjustment or something. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get limited Cena matches left, and I don't know if we need another Rock one. They weren't that great the other 2 times.
Mike Minotti.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to call the move the FU again because he's a bad guy?
I'd actually love that.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
That would
rule.
I hope so.
Even though attitude adjustment, given the context, does make more sense.
Yes, sure. It was adjusted. It was heavily adjusted.
So it's okay. So we've definitely on tap got Cena Punk. You have the opportunities to, which is a crazy thing to say, to do face Randall and heel Cena.
Yeah.
I think you get that. You get that at like a Money in the Bank or something.
That seems good.
Yeah.
And then
Cena Roman.
We've done that a few times and never really set the world on fire.
I don't know if you need to. Like, obviously, like those are 2 big stars, and there's some history there. But when I think about those 2, I mostly think about the time John Cena embarrassed Roman Reigns in the ring with the promo, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what
Took
the
you 10 years
is for that.
Yeah.
But like it's the big dog is dead.
Yeah,
I don't
the
tribal
see who
chief
stands to benefit in that match. I think you see 1 or 2 like really surprising, like somebody just getting the rub by sharing the ring with him. Like you see like Joe Hendry's pushing hard to get a match with Cena, and I think that's a long shot, but I do respect that he's pushing so hard for it.
Yeah,
and like just one of those like, wow, I never thought I'd see John Cena fight this new hot star, but
maybe a Jacob Fatu or someone else from the bloodline.
No, because I don't want Cena to beat Fatu. Have Fatu kill everyone.
Yeah, okay.
Do we think that whatever agreement that Paul Heyman and CM Punk came to for War Games do we ever see that, or do you think they were like, please forget that we said that?
We'll see it, but I don't know. It could just be a thing where they set this thing up where it could have this open-ended thing where they don't, when they want to pull that trigger, they can. And I don't think everything is this masterful. Every beat of the story has been planned out.
It could just be we don't see this for another 6 months.
Yeah, like the thing I was talking about earlier. Remember, Rock after Mania gave Cody that thing, and he's like, even without opening your hand, you know what it is, right? And they act like it was this big deal. Has not been mentioned once again. But if they have an idea for that, it's like, well, we planted the seed for something back then. We can use that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Any other dream matches or hopes and wishes for Cena's last year now that things are fully kicking off?
God, yeah. What are the big pay-per-view matches?
I mean, God, I do think Punk is like the most. That's the big obvious one to me, along with the Cody stuff. Of course, we gotta get Austin Theory back in there, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
You know what? I'm going to call it now. Cena, Logan Paul in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, turn it off.
Doesn't that sound like it'll happen? Doesn't that sound like something that'll happen?
I'm surprised it's not already booked. Yeah.
What about Kevin Owens? Because Cena and KO had that amazing
Ooh,
feud.
Owens could be good. Sammy could be good. Gunther could be good.
Gunther could be good.
Gunther would be cool.
Well, and Gunther's
gonna lose, right?
Right?
Yeah. LA Knight against Cena.
I do like LA Knight. I like LA Knight.
Yeah.
I would maybe like to see it. I don't really. That would be a smaller pay-per-view, maybe SmackDown, but I like it.
God, there's a lot of possibilities. Also, I don't know. Throw Cena into a tag for a little bit with someone.
Yeah.
I like the
Doesn't
idea.
bother. Go ahead, Niki.
Oh, I was gonna say they're never gonna do it because he's a million years old and doesn't work like that. But I liked when Adam Copeland was the TNT champion. It was like he had that open challenge.
Oh yeah.
Where he kind of just was like wrestling whoever.
Yeah.
And some weeks it was sick, and then some weeks it was like this is just kind of a whoever. They'll never do it with Cena.
I mean,
but
they did in 2015 with the U.S. title, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
but that was different.
Yeah,
that was for some
really
fun
kick-ass.
favorite
It'd be
matches
like
at that time.
Stardust
Kill
one
Cena
week,
won't do
AJ
that,
Styles another. Which, by the way,
Yeah.
AJ Styles, Cena, that may be another one. They should do.
Would fucking bang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Marino drops this in chat. What if Cena wins at Mania and immediately starts the open challenge?
Oh, I didn't even see
But
that.
open challenges is such a face thing to do, though. Like I take all comers, unless they're like a monster.
but if you
remember when
cheat
they did
for
the,
10 weeks in a
remember
row.
when Rodney Mack did the White Boy Challenge and he was a heel?
Currently,
if for hypothetical reasons, a person doesn't know what the quote white boy challenge is.
Because y'all are winners here.
Rodney Mack, and they're basically like, "Hey, we'll beat any white boy in 5 minutes," and that was the White Boy Challenge.
God, yeah.
Nikki, let's start this immediately.
Man.
Okay.
It wasn't the beat. It was like, did Goldberg just come out and kill him, and that was the end of that?
That's
Probably.
great. That's awesome.
Dang.
He does the open challenge, but only for Make-A-Wish kids, and he just buries each one.
Right.
Yeah, now we're talking.
That's good.
Okay. Well, now with the TNA floodgates semi-open, we have Joe Hendry as a possibility. Anyone in the TNA roster, Impact roster, you can think of that could have a good match with Cena?
Oba
I mean, that could have a good match, yeah, but that makes sense booking wise, or business wise, not really.
Yeah. I do want to see Oba Femi against Cena. God, Oba Femi's so fucking good. We
Really
we
good.
should talk about NXT more.
I would love to see just like a crazy, like Carmelo Hayes versus John Cena.
Dude.
Like-
And so I think actually the move is that heel Cena is so pissed off, he just starts showing up places. And the thing that he does is he's pushing his weight around, and he shows up on NXT and is like, actually the last match is a 35-minute and I'm going up against Carmelo Hayes, who I guess is now on SmackDown. But he picks his what's Ethan Page? Is he still the NXT champion?
Not
he's
champion, but he's there.
Oh,
Oba
but
Femi is.
he's like Oba Femi. Okay, but he's like, I like that idea a lot, where he's just kind of pushing himself onto shows and into segments that he's not supposed to be in because he's annoyed and can't do it because he's John Cena, and the hustle, loyalty, respect, like that earn is not in his MO anymore.
In retrospect now, like kind of the lead up to this has been genius because like having him lose the Rumble, and then he did that press conference right afterwards where he's like, it's my last year. I lost. I'm not going to, main event, or I'm not going to go to the title, but I am going to insert myself into the Elimination Chamber. I intend to win that. Like, so he did that there, where it's like, it was just kind of a heel move, but no one really had that on their radar.
Yeah.
So just him being like entitled to like, I'm putting myself in the Elimination Chamber. Like, that's basically what you're describing.
Yeah, no, I think that would be sick. Have him show up on EVLLE.
Level Up.
Evolve. Evolve.
Evolve. What is that?
It's in the...
Is that in between? Because there's another show in the WWE family of products that is like a reality show.
There's
that is like,
LFG, which is the one that Undertaker just got Mickey James booted off of because he wanted his wife to be on.
great.
So
awesome.
that's LFG. Where
and then there's
like,
one above that's Evolve, right?
Evolve is
Evolve.
just like, I haven't seen it. It looks like, I don't know if there's a crowd. It looks like it's just in a purple void. I don't know I've never heard of anyone that's on it. Although, did you see that faction that was getting posted around of the frat boys that were on Evolve?
Oh, no. Really?
Yes.
They
The
looked
frat
hilarious,
boys.
and their little like stat things and their names were fucking incredible.
Evil Matt Damon from Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah,
is one of them.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Applesauce.
All right. And then to cap off the WWE portion of the show, that fantastic Punk promo on Raw starting the show. Man, I hate that man can spit. Fucking like
Fired
just,
Up.
all right.
Fired Up Punk is one of the best ever on the
I mean,
mic.
it seems like he's like okay when he's happy, and he seems happy, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's getting.
He's been pretty good at WWE. That
like
I
he's
don't
not
think
getting the
it's
main
worked out
event,
really
right? And he's still
well.
not.
Yeah.
He's not whining about it or anything. He seems like okay. They're probably just paying him a lot. Where he's like, okay, fine.
and he knows it's his last chance, but like
Right.
it is very interesting that this isn't a thing where he was gone for 4 years and came back and I'm a new man. It's like, no, it was pretty much back to back with AEW,
Yeah.
where it
Yeah.
was nonstop drama and fighting and stuff there.
And
And now
a
he's
lot of
on-
it clearly his fault.
A lot of it, oh, no, he's an asshole for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, there's problems with the AEW backstage and just the hierarchy and like just a lot of egos running around and no one really keeping anything in check. Whereas like at WWE, it is a pretty buttoned down backstage.
be a
There is
child.
clear
Yeah.
people that like, people will not put up with behavior like that. It's not like, look, Tony was a Punk mark. Tony let
Yeah.
Punk get away with a lot. Tony didn't want to fire Punk. Look,
He was real sad.
yeah, the WWE brought him in as a business decision, knowing he'd make them a lot of money. He's making a ton of money, so he's happy, and he knows he can't pull the shit he was pulling.
Yeah,
in
he has
AEW.
nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and like also the other people in the locker room typically aren't doing kind of diva, high ego stuff or whatever. Yeah, so it's like it's working out. I've been a critic of Punk a lot, but his work has been solid, and he's been on good behavior
Right.
for sure.
But as a kind of not unapologetic, an apologetic CM Punk fan, I almost feel bad about it. God, that you're gonna make a wish that I never did line. So
good.
freaking good.
It's good.
He's so good.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
really fucking good. Fired Up Punk. Is he doing something with his hair? Did he stop by Turkey?
Yeah, he went to,
he might have gone to Turkey.
He went to Turkey or he went to LeBron's basement. One of the two.
Sure.
Okay.
He's doing that, or is he just doing a comb over back style, like the pompadour over the bald spot?
Maybe he looks much better than he did in like AEW, where he's just like letting his facial hair grow out all unkempt like, and he just kind of looked a little
Yeah.
That's Eddie
disheveled.
Kingston's gimmick now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. WWE is in a good space for what feels like the first time in a while. But I say that, and we've had, what, 2-ish good years now?
It's been good.
WWE?
Yeah. Yep, I'd say
Wonder
probably
what
starting.
changed. What changed? What happened?
Impossible to trace it back to anything.
What's been
Any
something
one
behind
thing.
the scenes? I don't know.
These things are so
Yeah.
complicated,
can
so
say.
many moving pieces. There's no one thing that could have changed.
Yeah. Come on, Mike. We'll be back after this quick bricky break to talk about AEW Revolution and some other miscellaneous wrestling things.
Marcolini.
I just realized I forgot to hit record on the video, but that's fine. We'll figure that out later. That's later, Jan's
YouTube records
problem.
it for us.
Jesus.
It's free.
No, but
It's
now
later,
it's one
and
big
I'm
chunk.
worried.
Grubb, come on.
It's one big chunk.
One big chunk full of bad
Sad.
bitches.
Man,
That's
such a
right.
warrior word. That's all. That's why all of his friends call him Whiskers.
Uh-huh.
What?
Warrior.
Okay, this is the Bacalor catch-up. What?
What are you saying?
But you had to watch SNL circa like 1999 to get that one.
Oh,
I did.
yeah,
I
was
did,
4.
and I don't get it.
Oh, that's a Harry Carey thing. Like, I guess I'm just a warrior. That's why all my friends call me Whisker.
Oh,
I thought they called you Whiskers because you're curious like a cat. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
That's right. Yes.
All the kids can't stop talking about
Yeah, dude,
Will
I
Ferrell's
fucking love
Harry
Harry
Carey
Carey.
segments.
I'm just gonna start referencing my favorite SNL bits from 2000.
Oh, I'm okay with
8.
that.
Get off the shed.
Thank you, Mike.
It's a special,
Mhm.
right?
Space Olympics.
What if
Jay,
I
it's
just
your
start
turn.
referencing Mad TV bits? Will
sure.
that be fine?
The eye
Bret
rock.
Hart was
SC
on there.
I'm going to do SCTV bets then if you do that.
Okay. I'll do
I
Monty
could do
Python. Yeah.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Hey, Living Color was awesome.
Living Color was
yeah.
great. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, it's my favorite actually.
Yeah, they did CM Punk's theme song. This is a wrestling
Jesus.
podcast. Just trying to bring
really
it back
fucking
together.
funny,
no,
Mike.
you know
That was
what?
really
I know.
good, Mike.
It was.
That was
I know
really
you all went
good.
on one of your wacky tangents again. Who knows how that happened?
You
but I
all
read it
went
back
on
in.
one of your wacky tangents as if you didn't start talking about Harold Carroll.
Okay, all right. AEW Revolution is right around the corner, and our own Nikki Grayson is going.
I'm going.
Ooh, is that
I'm
crypto?
I'm at the crypt. I'm going to
Nice.
the crypt. I'm sitting in, if you see me, where am I sitting? I'll tell you exactly where I'm sitting.
Yeah,
Chat,
please.
Hold on.
I would love that.
I'm sitting in the premiere section
my.
03,
Wow.
seat 5.
Oh.
Sorry, row 5, seat 6.
Hang on, I'm going to pull up the seating chart.
You know, I did not
Crypto
publicize
arena.
where I was sitting when I went to that hockey game outside, and I just happened to sit next to someone who listens to the Bombcast.
That's awesome.
That was pretty
That's
wild.
huge.
That's cute.
I was on my honeymoon at WrestleMania at the Superdome, and somebody was sitting behind me and Bianca taking pictures of the back of our heads and tweeting it at me.
That's off. That's on the line. That's on the line.
Little awkward.
Oh,
I'm so jealous of Nikki, but I think I'll learn to cope with it.
shut up. Nikki, premiere what?
Premiere 3. It's side view, so I'm closer to the.
I see where you are, but you'll be okay.
I have
see.
it's the ticket says mid view. I have sat in this exact section, and I know where they're gonna put the ring. The seats are gonna be good. I
Yeah,
don't
it's like a 200
understand-
level. You'll be able to see
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I
So
don't
you're on the ramp side.
I'm on the ramp side, not
Okay.
I'm not on the far side. I think the seats are gonna be great, and if they aren't, I'll get up and move.
Yeah. You might have a weird view of the Tron above the ramp, but as
Yeah.
long as they have, it's crypto. I think they have the one.
Yeah, they have the up.
Yeah,
they have
you'll
the
be fine.
up screen. I'll be fine.
Yeah, you're fine. Yep.
I'm
be a
amped.
good time.
I wish I could go with you, Nikki.
I know. Jan and I, literally for 2 months, the day after they announced Revolution was going to be here, we were like, we're going. And then the next week we said we're going. Jan and I played this fun game up until 2 weeks ago when I was like, are we going? And Jan was like, I can't go. And I was like, oh man. And then I bought my ticket.
Nice
And
one.
I'm going.
Nice. It's a good card. You're gonna have a good time.
Dude, I'm fucking amped.
It's a
Yeah.
very good card. I actually went to an AEW event, Collision, last
you went?
weekend.
How was
Yeah.
it?
Let me tell y'all. All right. I understand that it was a busy weekend with Elimination Chamber and then the Oscars the following day, you know, because
Venn
wrestler-
diagram's a circle.
Exactly. And then in the middle is unqualified people saying cinema.
That's right.
But
That's good.
when I looked at tickets, I was like, oh, okay, $40 for nosebleeds. I can swing that. That's no problem. And then I checked the day of because I procrastinated on buying tickets. And then I got the section behind the commentators,
Floor?
a couple rows up, not floor, a row behind floor for $20.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
it made me feel a little bad inside.
The TV show sucks. The pay-per-views are good. It's the AEW story. Welcome to it. Like that's just how it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a little
not even
cold
that,
right now.
It's not even that the TV show sucks. It's just that it's so deeply uneven. It's just like I'll watch and there will be like two things. I'm
It's
like,
not-
hell yeah.
It's
And then
not worth watching most of the time, in my opinion.
I put it on in the background typically
Yes.
and play games on my Steam Deck, you know. But
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm rarely moved by a lot of the stuff happening. But it's better than it was maybe a year ago, I think.
Yeah.
Like during the MJF title
Yes.
run with the Devil stuff, I thought that was a real low point.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure,
No,
sure.
it is better than then. I think it. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Audio
my favorite
listeners,
bit.
Nikki's internal temp is too high.
Yeah.
It is better.
Isn't this just the start of CM Punk's like video package? Isn't the oh crap, he's here.
The thing I will say about AEW's programming is that it isn't even consistent segment to segment. So if you're trying to watch it like a television show, it doesn't feel like it respects your time enough to sustain watching it. So I think what I basically do now is I wait for it to be over, and then I will pull it up on Max and want to watch for HBO, and I will just skip through segments that I don't want to watch. And now I like it more than I did when I was watching it live.
I do want to take this opportunity to air some grievances, though, with a friend of the website that we've had on the voicemail dump truck, because Adam Cole cut a promo with Undisputed Kingdom, and Adam Cole had a shirt that not only the AC looked like the Rescue Rangers font, which I think is gimmick infringement with Minotti here, but he had a bomb on his shirt.
Wow.
Adam,
jeez.
Adam, what's going on,
found
bud?
that food truck that uses the logo.
Yeah, but Adam Cole is not a food truck.
Maybe it was a tip of the hat for all the raids we give him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll take
might
that.
Be that.
I'll
Might be a
take that.
tribute. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Let's see. So my time at the Collision show, it was good. A lot of good wrestling. I sat next to a child wearing a luchador mask, eating chicken tenders the whole time.
The dream.
And Joey Dominic Mysterio.
Maybe he time traveled. Who knows? I don't know. It was funny. Anytime I've taken my partner to a wrestling thing, she's always just very intrigued about, like, A, how many children there are, and B, how many grown-ass men there are.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's the
And
demographic.
nothing in between.
It's you grew up watching. It's people who were watching in the Attitude Era when they were 14 and children.
yeah. Yes.
Even Dan stopped watching for a little bit when he was like 19. It just happens to everybody.
2002 to 2007. Yeah, I couldn't let girls at college know I watched wrestling.
And
Sure.
I don't know.
Also, you were so sad after 9/11.
I was grieving. You're right, Niki. Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe attendance was a little low because Elimination Chamber was also happening at the same time, or maybe it's because it was in what used to be the Oracle Arena in Oakland, perhaps. I don't know. But attendance, there were a lot of empty seats that I could have moved to the floor.
They've been struggling with attendance for a while now.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that they still put on good TV sometimes. A lot of times, a lot of great wrestling. It's not a super hot product right now. It doesn't feel like it's sometimes maybe hard for people to get real excited about devoting an entire evening. So we're gonna go to AEW today.
There's I'm about to go fucking crazy, so please just bear with me for a second. The analog that AEW is, where AEW is right now, the analog to me is where Major League Soccer was like 5.5 or 6 years ago, because the product itself, if you separate everything else and you're just watching the wrestling part of it, is really good. And that's where Major League Soccer was. But there is so much cruft around it that people are like, well, I'm not going to spend my time or waste my time doing this, nor will I spend the money. So nobody shows up. So the things are empty. But they then still have a really lucrative TV deal where you're kind of like, well, how's this circle squaring? Because like they're making the money from the TV. It's a TV show is the thing that we're watching. And then they just so happen to do it live across the country. And the way that Major League Soccer fixed that was that they got more guys that people like. But I don't know if AEW has any more guys to get.
They have
Yeah.
one.
So I don't know what they do now.
Well, I think what they do now is they've done it a few times in recent months where it's, have Dynamite from interesting looking smaller venues. It makes the people that are there can fill up smaller venues. They will be the hardcore fans that are going to be chanting and vocal and, energetic and stuff.
Do it on a pool, like we said.
Do it in a pool. Yeah, do the spring break style. They did it at Hammerstein not too long ago. That looked great. I think Dynamite this week was from this like unique smaller venue. Keep doing that. Lets you do everything. Lets you, contractual obligations to the TV deal. The on-screen product looks better with an engaged audience. Sounds better. You don't have the embarrassing this entire hard cam side is empty. I think that's what you do.
Yeah. Shall we go over the Revolution card now?
Let's do it.
Also, real quick,
yes.
Grubb, you've got a code in your inbox, and you should start downloading that before you.
I was wondering if that would be here. All right, let me do that. I'll be right back.
Wait, what if I wanted a code that I could
You got to send an
download?
email too. Grubb sent it right before this and just got it. Yeah.
I put in our Discord here the Adam Cole shirt, and
See this?
it's.
I think we have
Adam.
a case. I
think we got a case.
We're suing. We're suing.
Oh my, that is more egregious than I expected.
Yeah, that's just the Bob
Yeah.
with gloves.
Well, he
Niki,
does the boom thing, you know. I guess
sure,
but we predate that.
That's
Yeah.
we invented the bomb. So
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
invented-
we are
Here's
the
about the boom.
Oppenheimer.
When you have the big boom, AJ in the
Boom!
perhaps. There you go.
Lit-
See, I did a Jan segue. I did a
that's
Jan
really
segue.
good.
You know what? 5 podcast points, Mike.
My entire plan, no fucking joke, is I looked at the card and I saw that it started at 4, and I said, okay, so that means that shit's not starting until 4:15. And then I looked at the first match and I said, so I'll be at the bar. I will be at the sports bar that is down the street until when I feel the match, because then I would have to buy the match to figure out when it ends. So I'm gonna have to, or buy the card, which we're not gonna do. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna just like feel it out, and I'll be like, all right, well, hopefully I don't miss anything I want to see. But that's probably not gonna be longer than 15 minutes, which is just and long enough for me to get a drink at happy hour before I go in there. So I don't have
That's a fun
Costco
time, and it's
guys.
usually filled with other wrestling fans.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's just like I remember
Yeah,
we did that. We went to a pub before Wembley. Me and Mike did, and
Yeah.
just having some beers at a British pub, and then walking over to Wembley Stadium to see All In. Like that was
That sounds
fuck.
delightful.
That was a
Yeah.
good day.
Good time.
Yeah.
When is it's Sunday? If it was
I know.
tomorrow, I would have just gone, Nikki. I would have drove
Damn.
now.
Ah.
But why not?
You should still do
it's
it,
just
Jan.
a day. It's
Come
just
on,
a day.
Jan. It's the same
These are
thing.
nothing. You have an infinite amount of those.
No, I don't.
It's the
that's
same
that's
thing,
not
Jan.
true at all.
Get down there. Watch wrestling with your friend.
Yeah, I'll see what happens, Nikki.
It's just a day.
I'll
I
text
have a
you.
Jan-
floor and a bed for you.
If you go, I'll TD everything on Monday. He laughs properly. Yes.
That doesn't cure any of my anxiety, but thank you for the sentiment.
Well,
Dan.
I'll call you all the time and be frantic, but
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Everyone wins. That's help.
Yes. When someone else's anxiety is so high that they have to call someone else with other anxiety, it totally cancels each other out.
Yeah,
The
I
Venn
think that's how it
diagram
works.
is now just one circle of anxiety.
you get it.
All right. Going down the match card, it is a fantastic card. By the way, we've already said that, but there's a steel cage match with Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. Oh man,
That's
Yeah.
wrestling, baby.
Fletcher's in one of those spots where it's just like, okay, when he first started showing up, I was like, all right, this is another guy that's good at wrestling. There's a lot of those gimmicks, here. And it's like, ooh, it was during that Osprey stuff where he
Yeah.
started like, it's like, oh, okay, this guy is
Yeah.
really
Really
fucking
good.
Yes.
he's at the same spot I think where Takeshita was like last year.
Okay,
right?
sure.
Mhm.
Where the earlier months of just like, oh, there's something here. Yeah.
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 And I think he's about to pop off in a big way. Do we think Ospreay takes it?
Yeah, because they gave Fletcher the win last time, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, the Assassin's Creed commercial doesn't work if he loses.
Right. No one's
Right.
It's gonna cancel all the pre-orders. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that's gonna be 7 minutes of Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay.
Shadows promo that I'm gonna have to watch on Sunday.
That's funny if Ubisoft pushed back Assassin's
Ubisoft's
Creed
booking.
So they
Yeah.
they called Tony and they were like, "Hey, when can you put Will in a cage?"
Yeah.
Like, I know that he has. I know that he
Basically what
dresses up
Saudi
as.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that he dresses up as Ezio, but can he be a samurai this time?
Right.
Oh my god, if he shows up like Assassin's Creed Shadows,
Dude, he
see
will.
it.
It's right there.
it's
That's
right
so
there.
easy.
It's right
I'm
there.
actually going to be pissed if I don't have to be brand activated over Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Well, I want the following match to be brand activated as Monster Hunter Wilds because this is not an order that it's going to be airing, but I have it in a certain order here. Okada versus Brody King for the AEW Continental Championship.
Yum,
I need
yeah.
Brody King to just be like a monster, and Okada being, I guess, a Monster Hunter there.
I like Brody being not kind of shackled with the Malachi spooky stable. Like, I know he's still the dog's of war or whatever, but Malachi
He left.
You're going to see him pop up in WWE soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Penta. Or Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Lucha Bros.
The Lucha Bros. I'm pretty sure that's who Chad Gable is meeting up in Mexico.
Oh. Yeah, that would make sense.
Wait,
wouldn't it?
that would be so freaking fun.
So wait, would they be feuding with each
then
other?
they're fighting?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Or he makes him see the ways of Lucha, and he comes back, and he's like, fuck Ivy Nile. I'm going to like hang out with this dancing murder skeleton.
That actually sounds pretty sick.
Yeah,
Both of those paths are good.
Yeah, the dancing murder skeleton guy, he's also best friends with George Kittle from the 49ers, by the way.
Yeah, what's he doing fucking around with the Creed brothers?
Murder dancers, I think.
Oh, man.
Hang out
That's
with
the
the
best.
Creed brothers or these cool skeletons.
Do you think Ray Fenix is going to have like a bird gimmick as well? Or
I hope
is
so.
he also going to be a skeleton man?
Be a skeleton man.
Swapping to Ray Pigeon. This
Bird
time.
skeleton?
A bird skeleton.
We already got a
Ooh.
bird gimmick on WWE now.
Well, one isn't
Lyra.
enough sometimes.
That's true.
Oh, God, somewhere on a soundboard, I have Dan pretending to be a bird, but I can't dig it up right now.
No idea what the context of that would be.
Me neither, actually.
Okada is still one of the best wrestlers around. I just don't know what's going on with his character.
Yeah, that's been very uneven. It's just a thing where they threw so much money at him. It's like, holy shit, we got Okada. And then it's like, all right, we do the comedy gimmick for a little bit. And the whole, like, we're running the company for like 2.5 weeks that didn't go anywhere. And now it's kind of back to like, oh, the best tournament wrestler in the world, great. Like, I don't know. I think he'll turn it on for matches where he's got a lot of time and they're on a pay-per-view and they mean something. So hopefully we get something good here because Brody's awesome too. But
Yeah. MJF versus Adam Page. It's going to be
fun.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
it's been a fun build.
MJF always over-delivers with his matches,
He does. Yeah.
Yeah, I always think I don't like MJF until I watch him wrestle at a pay-per-view.
Yep. Yep. It's like, oh, right. Yeah.
The segment that they did on Dynamite this week involved an MJF stunt double, Adam Page almost running over Renee and MJF with a Rivian. But the Rivian has a big, the tackiest and most shittily applied like bull horns attached to the hood as the hood ornament. And you can see the wire that they've used to wrap it through the front of the car. So that's really good. And then at the end, MJF beats up Adam Page and then pours lighter fluid on him and then goes to set him on fire. And then as security is picking this man up, MJF yells, "Let me prove my point!" As he's being picked up and dragged out of the ring. It's unbelievably funny to me.
Nikki, you could have just been headlining a local improv night, and I wouldn't know that everything you said actually did happen
It's
on
real.
a
That's what
television
happened
program.
on TV. It happened on TV on Wednesday.
I love Adam Page. I just want. I don't know. I want to buy the title, but we'll get to the title eventually. Speaking about the title, we have a match for the -- contender. We have Ricochet versus Swerve Strickland. Ooh, let me tell y'all, Swerve Strickland always steals the show.
Yeah.
But at the AEW Collision taping I was at, everyone was just like, "Oh man, this guy has unironic aura."
Yeah.
And he's just so fucking cool. Ricochet has been doing some fun stuff in AEW.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been interested in his character. And like just him being a giant geek is just, it's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. The last time I was interested in Ricochet is when he covered up his face and he was Prince Puma in Lucha Underground.
Yep.
I just watch all of Lucha Underground.
Oh, Mike, it's good.
I haven't seen
that
much
ring
of
setup
it.
is sick because there's like a building in there that they can run on top of and do stuff on. Which is
Penta
great.
has a match where he fights 3 Japanese women.
Io,
about that.
Io and Kyrie were both in that match.
Rey Mysterio is also there sometime.
Yep.
People died in Lucha Underground, right? In the story.
People died.
Yeah,
Yes.
just a TV show. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, God. Vampiro's
Wrestling's
there. And
good.
I don't know. Give
Yeah.
it. Yeah, you can. Whatever.
It reminded me of that
that guy
Mortal
did Spy
Kombat TV
Kids.
show that was on like TNT or
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
If they changed one of the 5 other WWE shows that isn't Raw, SmackDown, or NXT to one of those, I would love it.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too.
Speed.
No, bring back Raw Underground with Shane McMahon.
Well, we don't need to.
That went places, right? That was so interesting. All of the things they did with that.
Oh, Mike,
Omos
Lucha
was a
Underground.
giant ninja.
God. Oh, my God. Lucha Underground is apparently all on archive.org.
There you go.
Oh,
All right. Do we think Ricochet is going to win or Swerve?
Keep it with Swerve. Swerve's too much of a he's an important part of that show.
It's for the number one contender, so it kind of depends on who you think's winning the main event, right? So
I think it's Swerve, yeah.
Okay.
probably Swerve.
All right. Next for the
Ricochet annoying is good.
Yes.
They've actually had 2 things from the last promo, the contract signing between Swerve and Ricochet. One, Swerve Strickland was wearing a Mass Effect leather jacket.
I saw that.
Really good.
What? Is he a nerd? Should
Yes.
we get him on for something?
When I was doing a charity stream with MXM, he popped in for a little bit, and he was in the middle of playing PlayStation 5 while he was on the call with us. So, yeah.
There you go.
Come on, Michelle.
All right. And with Ricochet, they have now mentioned or alluded to strongly Samantha Irvin. Do you think she gets involved in AEW at all?
It's hard to say. I know she really wanted to do music stuff, and I don't know if she ever actually put out an album or anything like that. So either she's still working on that and maybe later, or if she can do both concurrently, it's possible. People love her.
I think
so.
people love her, and I think that's the good thing about the things that she does is that she does not need to do anything right now. She is I don't mean to speak about what her whole freaking life is about, but it seems like her partner is working and making good money on television.
Yeah.
And she was making and working good money on television. And now it seems like they probably can afford to have only one of them work right now while the other one does the thing that they want to do. So I don't think it doesn't really seem like she's in any rush. And also her job, she can come in a year and a half and be like, okay, now I'm ready to talk into this microphone. So yeah, but she's great.
Remember there was a
I
big
love
break
her.
between Renee Paquette, leaving WWE and going there. So yeah.
All right, moving on down the card. Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe for the TBS Championship. I'm not familiar with Momo Watanabe
Not
at all.
either.
Me either. But
I would
people
like
like
them-
her.
Yeah, I'd like them to take one of the many belts off of Mercedes Moné because now it just looks ridiculous.
No, give her one more.
One more?
The belt collector.
One of them's fake is the best part of it. One of them is not real.
Really?
Yeah, one of them is just she made herself a belt.
Okay, when The Rock does it, it's annoying. With her, that actually kind of fits the character a bit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
But Nikki, really, here's the thing, though. They're all fake.
They're all
actually.
fake.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Whoa.
Turns out they're all
Mike,
made up.
let's not say things we can't take back.
I'm sorry.
Mike, why don't you say that on the fucking dump truck next week?
No, thank you.
Can we just get Samoa Joe to threaten Mike Minotti's
The
life?
only time it was real was when Samoa Joe was champion. Every other time, just made up in our mind.
Which I guess we'll say now. Tune into the voicemail dump truck next week. Samoa Joe.
My bad. I just realized that's how I was doing it, Dan.
No, I tweeted it already.
We
It's
haven't said that
it's
before.
It's out there. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
my
we'll
bad.
replug it at the end of the show. But yes, next week on the dump truck.
Oh God, if we get Samoa Joe mad at Mike Minotti, I want that so bad.
Please.
But I want it to be for something odd like cast iron skillets.
Or Disney opinions.
Tell Samoa Joe that cast iron skillets are a fad and see what happens.
Well, tell him that Mike doesn't like dogs because Joe's a big dog guy.
I love
there we
dogs.
go.
I got Penny right here.
Uh-huh.
Very
All right.
real,
Okay,
despite what you
Penny.
say.
Press the button.
Woof, woof.
Oh,
Perfect.
All right, moving further down the card. I don't know. Toss up for me between Mercedes Moné and Momo Watanabe.
I think that's going to be one of those things like you said with MJF where it's like, oh, you see him wrestle on a pay-per-view and you're like, okay, yeah. And I think early on Mercedes was even kind of failing on that front, but the last the Statlander match and stuff, she's had some good ones since then.
Yeah. All right, moving down, we have the Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners for the World Tag Team Championships.
Ooh.
Outrunners, very fun tag team.
Yes, they are. And like, I think that could have so easily just been a cheesy gimmick of like, oh, remember the 80s? Like, they've done that a million times, but like, they just feel like they came out of an actual time machine. They're perfect at what they do. They have the best tag team taunt I've seen since maybe the 3D shit, where it's like, what is this? It's like, Turbo Floyd, you son of a bitch. And they do the Predator thing, like, and they zoom in on the biceps. Like, God, that's great. I also love the Hurt Syndicate. But
Yeah.
it would be a cool moment to see the Outrunners get the titles, like strike while the iron's hot. They're super over right now, but also the Hurt Syndicate are fucking cool. So
They're just cool guys.
I could let the Outrunners marinate and cool for a bit, and then maybe come back to win the championships. I like the Outrunners of the possibility that they are just time traveling wrestlers, and they could like come back with super long hair, like they're from the 2000s, riffing off the Hardys or something.
Yeah, technically 2000.
Rule.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Oh God, that'd be so good. Hurt Syndicate, very good team. I don't know. I don't know who I could see taking it.
I'm just looking forward to that one no matter what. It's just, I think it's going to be a fun match.
And I think the beauty of the tag titles is that it kind of doesn't matter.
Sure.
Like, it doesn't really make a difference. They could give it, Outrunners could win, and then in 2.5 weeks, Hurt Syndicate could have it back, and it would kind of feel like you would get the moment of the Outrunners winning, and then you would still have the dominance of the Hurt Syndicate, and it would both story-wise, it would feel good. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a banger. Regardless.
Moving on, 3 matches left on the card. We have Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW International Championship.
Ooh,
Money.
Holy shit, Takeshita is the strongest fucking person.
Dude.
Did y'all see that reversal with Orange Cassidy?
Yeah.
no.
Yep.
Oh my God, I gotta go hunt it down, Dan, because like I legitimately did not know what was happening, and then eventually Takeshita just slammed Orange Cassidy straight through the mat.
That guy kicks ass. That is just a monster that will beat the shit out of you, but then also be weirdly agile and do some high flying stuff. Like, what a cool look. What a cool, Takesha's the best.
I love Kenny though, but
I love Kenny.
I mean,
Kenny
at the very
rules.
least, get your money's worth from that match alone.
No, for sure.
You're good. You're set.
Niki, I'm going to want a full report of your in-person.
Oh no, I can't. I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah,
this is my main
tweet,
event,
whatever you
which
need to
is
do. I just want to
crazy.
hear your thoughts. Yes.
I think this is also one of the few bits of long form storytelling that AEW has with Don Callis and Kenny, right, being like the other side of this. Which is fun. It's just like that Kenny doesn't really have any interaction with Don Callis, so like that part doesn't really overlap. But there is subtext here, which I think is fun. And in a lot of AEW stuff, it feels like there is never any subtext. It just kind of feels like we've been fighting for 4 weeks or for 8 weeks, and that's why we're doing this right now.
Do you think Tony Khan understands metaphors?
No, of course
No.
he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Definitely not.
It literally is, I think, all real to him.
Dan, did you see that?
I'm watching it right now. Good stuff.
Insane. What the fuck? That guy's cool.
Also, Orange
strength.
Cassidy rules. I know we glossed over the match with the Big Justice in the corner and whatnot, but
That's going to be awesome.
I'll watch anything. I do like. Wow, it's that guy from TikTok. I don't even watch TikTok, but I'm like, wow, this has some buzz to it. I'll watch anything with Orange Cassidy in it. Mark Briscoe's great.
Yeah.
Best spear in the business, Big Justice.
People are always saying that.
Yeah, they are.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
Sorry,
seeing in the
watching
chat.
the Takeshita thing.
You ever done that to a man?
No, a couple times.
Dizzy Hippos in the chat is saying the scuttle is that we would possibly get Kenny versus Okada to unify those two belts.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I would look so forward to that, and also like if there's a match where expectations can almost sort of like be an albatross, that could be one of them, because those two had some of the greatest matches ever in that initial rivalry back in New Japan.
There's like 4
they were
matches.
going for like they were like going like hour long sometimes, right? Like really, really intense long stuff. That can they replicate it in this different setting at different ages. I hope so.
I mean, I think there'd be reason for skepticism. You know, Kenny's been real beat up for a while, but then he came back in that match with Gabe Kidd. I mean, he looked as good as ever.
That was
and
nuts.
I think Okada, given the history with Kenny, would turn it up as much as possible. Like they would know the expectations, and if two guys would just kill themselves to meet those or exceed, it's those two guys.
All right, now we have the match, second to last match on my list here, but I'm the most excited for this one. I don't know if y'all have been following this at all.
I don't know why this isn't the main event. Not to
This
be
should
crazy,
be the main event.
but like, it's insane that Toni Storm Mariah May is not main eventing the pay-per-view in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Toni Storm versus Mariah May, the Hollywood ending. I think this may be one of my favorite women's feuds ever.
Yeah.
Easily.
That's great.
Really good.
Like when Toni Storm left WWE, I was bummed out because I thought she was a good wrestler. And then she joined AEW and did the whole rigmarole of like, oh, I came from WWE, blah, blah, blah. But then like the shift that she's had with timeless Toni Storm and then stepping it up to a higher fucking level with Mariah May. And then Mariah May kind of coming out of nowhere, at least for me specifically, it's just been so fucking good. The promos from Toni Storm and Mariah May have been so fucking good.
And the like cosplaying as each other type stuff, like that was incredible. They've both been absolute top of their games. It's got shades of like the old like Trish and Mickie James like superfan stuff early on, but it's like gone beyond that and it's something different now. And they both played their roles so well. Do you see the thing they did at the red carpet for Queen of the Ring like last night? That's cool.
Yeah, good. People should fight in public more and confuse people who don't understand. That's why the neck brace is so funny to me. Because the idea that a person could be there thinking that I've been invited to a movie premiere. This is so sick. And then you see this unbelievably like strong and pretty person wearing a bedazzled neck brace, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? And nobody's asking questions about it is the thing. Everyone's just being like, yeah, no, she's got a neck brace. She got fucked up last week. Shit was crazy. And the people were at this premiere yesterday, and then they're like, oh shit, hell yeah, dude. And then people just straight up start yelling and screaming and fighting. That's good.
Yeah, you know what? I used to criticize someone like Austin Butler for getting like too deep into the character of Elvis while he was doing it. But I think I want to go all the fucking way. If and when I am up for Emmy contention or Oscar contention, I want to get like into a feud with Timothée Chalamet and attack him at a red carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Jen, we had the most front row possible seat to one of those when AJ and LA Knight fought directly in front of us. No one gave us a heads up.
You were about to interview that man.
I was standing in front of AJ trying to get him to make eye contact with me so I could ask him a question, and then a chair flew at us. Like, backed away. Yeah.
Folks, if you have not kept up to date with the Toni Storm Mariah May feud, I believe AEW did put out a video a couple of weeks back kind of documenting the feud. And y'all, oh God, it is good stuff. Like Dan said, it kind of does echo initially the Trish Stratus, Mickie James stuff, but it quickly becomes something completely different.
And there's like a lot of like subversion. It's a lot like The Substance if you think about it.
Oh.
There's a lot of like
exactly
subversion.
Except they're like 4 years apart.
Exactly. Like
not with Toni Storm's character.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
There's a lot of
the 1920s.
subversion of like what it means to be a women's champion built into this storyline, and like what like aesthetic and power looks like and the ways that these women are expected to use it. So the fact that like there's a leg in this story where Toni Storm gets hit in the head so hard everyone thinks that she forgets who she was, so she goes back to her old gimmick. But then it doesn't look right, obviously, because it's like because that's not the person Toni Storm is anymore. It's just it's really good. Like it's some of my favorite storytelling on TV generally, this storyline. So I'm really excited.
Well, and it's cool too because when they first started doing the timeless stuff, it was so over. People loved it, and then like 3 or 4 weeks in of kind of those vignettes and everything, and those interviews and the black and white gimmick, I think everyone, including me, was kind of like, "All right, this is great now, but how much meat is on this bone here?"
Yeah,
and they found a way to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Moving on to the main event. God, that's the Mariah May Tony Storm one should have been the main.
Dude, it's
Main event's the least exciting part.
Yeah,
of
because
the whole show.
Yeah.
like I like both of these two wrestlers individually, but I don't quite care for this one at all.
No.
We have Jon Moxley, champion,
Don't you
with
say
Death
it.
Riders.
Don't
Versus-
you fucking say it. Say his real name.
Yeah. What's the man's
No,
name?
say what's on the card,
Say-
Jan.
say his
What's
real
written on
name,
the
Jan.
card?
Versus
Do your
the chal-
job.
versus the challenger Cope.
Oh my
Let's go, man. Moxley seems like he was kind of one of those can do no wrong people in a lot of ways until this run, right? Like this run.
But I feel like it's not on him. You know, like I think the material he's given, he's performing it well. I
Mhm.
just think the storyline and the booking has been very boring. You know, I don't consider this Moxley's fault, really.
I also I simply don't understand where were we going. We all got
Yeah.
in the car when he came back looking fucking American History X-esque. And I was like, sick. Awesome. I can't wait to see where we go. And then it's been 3 months and
Yeah.
I'm like, did we move at all?
Yeah, and they say stuff like when these big angles start where he's like, this is just the beginning. And I was going to be like, okay, what's the plan? What do you want from
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
And like in kayfabe, what did you get from shutting down Rampage? Like, oh, cool
Yeah.
moment. They shut down the show. But why did they do that? They didn't want to be on TV as much? Like, it just, there's just no clear goal here. And now we've got
Yeah.
the Bryan full-time wrestler retirement was used for this angle that like, it would have been in the same fucking place without that, you know?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, it doesn't feel connective at all, and I'm now mostly like, yeah, just get this shit over with. Like,
Yeah. For what it's worth, at that Oakland show, normally I feel like whenever Mox comes out, it's like a big fanfare. There, it was just like, okay, cool, the
Yeah.
champion's here. And if anything, do you think Jon Moxley is not letting Wheeler Yuta get a haircut? Because that man needs a fucking
dude, he
haircut.
needs one so bad.
Like,
Divorce Cougar in the chat says, does Christian still have that contract thing? Yeah, he does. And that could be pretty funny if Edge wins the title and immediately Christian
Sure.
Cashes in. That would be
I
good.
wouldn't hate that.
could see that. Yeah.
Because then
Oh,
you get
that's
to have
yummy.
those two names on your title history, right? And who doesn't want that?
No, yeah.
I don't know who I want to win this match. I think I would. I if I were going to the show, I would leave early.
And you know what? I might. I got
Oh,
stuff
that's
to
crazy
do.
behavior. Come on.
I won't. I'm not gonna. I'm not
You're
gonna.
going to.
I'm not gonna. I'm trying to figure out actually where I put this show on the card that isn't last. And I think maybe it might be a banger opener.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the only time, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony didn't do the title on last was Sting's retirement. Was there another? Is there an
Yes.
exception there? Tony's
There
the
might
big legacy of the title
Legacy.
goes on
Yeah, but
last
like,
guy.
The women's title is also the title,
I
right?
know,
Like that's
yeah,
part of the
that
problem,
would be a nice
you know?
statement. Yeah, to be like, well, yeah, also world title.
And it's also like an admission of like, and this is probably why he's not doing it. But it's like you have gas. You have gas. Use the gas that you have. Put that in the main event and then be like, yeah, actually we're standing on the fact that this is the best story that we're telling right now. And it's the most important one. It's the one we want people to talk about. So we are going to put it in the slot that we want everyone to remember. But
Nikki,
instead,
can we
no.
get you into the press conferences afterwards?
If you
Yeah.
can get me, I'll go anywhere on
Make
Sunday.
that happen.
I'll do whatever. I'll ask anybody anything, as long as it's about Rampart.
I got that.
Thank you. It's my second Rampart joke this week.
All right, that does it for AEW Revolution. Once again, if you missed it during where Grubb leaked it, the notorious leaker Jeff Grubb.
Yeah.
My
bad. Samoa Joe will be joining us for the voicemail dump truck.
Joe.
But
Joe.
Don't fucking call in with Mark questions. They're not going to get
Yes,
on.
come on.
Like, ask. That's the thing. Part of the joy for me is seeing Joe answering the usual dumb bullshit that's on here. So call with your usual dumb bullshit. You don't even have to address Joe. We'll just have Joe answer these things, and hopefully
the dump truck audience gets it. They know.
Yes,
Yeah,
and hopefully him and Minotti will be enemies by the end of the hour. So.
Aw,
Yeah.
I like Joe.
No, see, but the thing is, you quickly became Jeff Jarrett's best friend.
Yeah, me and Jeff got along great.
I want
Yeah.
you to be mortal enemies with Samoa Joe.
Look, I'll
That's
be
more
myself.
fun.
We'll see what Joe thinks of me.
Bold strategy, Mike.
Right? It usually works out fine for me.
I mean, he is very used to Disney adults. He knows a lot of wrestlers.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That does it for this week and another episode of the Power Bombcast. Turns out the last one we did this was exactly a month ago.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Good
it was on
cadence.
February 7th. So
And-
here we are, March 7th.
And we should definitely one leading into or out of WrestleMania, or both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. We're on the fast lane now to WrestleMania.
welcome to the fast lane,
No
everybody.
roadblocks. Oh, wait, no, I think there's a roadblock in NXT. But yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
right.
Oh, that's going to be Vakur versus Julia.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I love Booker T on commentary anytime that Stephanie Vaquer is on.
Yes.
Because he says what I feel. I have never related to a human being more than Booker T. Folks, we'll see you next time for another episode. If you're watching live, stay tuned. We're going to continue the wrestling with WWE 2K25 on UPF. Gooner T. Perfect.
No. The
Oh, that
chat
got
killed it
caught
for
on
a
it.
reason.
Faded to black.